Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to explore something that you might have heard buzzing around the tech world.
Right.
The self-serve data platform.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're already pretty comfortable with relational databases, you're in a good spot to really get this.
Yeah.
So just picture this. Imagine like marketing teams running their own campaigns, using customer data,
right.
Finance folks building their own dashboards without needing to wait for the data team to help them out.
Absolutely.
That's the power of a self-serve platform, and that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, it really is about flipping the script on how we think about data within companies.
Okay.
You know, we used to have these centralized data teams acting as these gatekeepers. But with a self-serve model, we're trying to empower those domain teams, marketing, finance, you name it, to have more direct control and ownership over their data.
So it's not just about giving people access to data.
Exactly.
It's about giving them the tools and the freedom to actually work with it.
100%.
But what does a self-serve data platform look like in practice? It sounds almost too good to be true.
Right.
Are we talking about some magical piece of software here?
Well, it's not magic, but it can definitely feel pretty transformative.
Okay.
Think of it as a collection of tools and capabilities, all carefully designed to abstract away the technical complexity of data management.
Yeah.
So imagine your marketing team, for example.
Okay.
They should be able to access and analyze customer data using familiar tools, maybe even spreadsheets or visual dashboards, without needing to worry about the underlying infrastructure.
Okay.
They wouldn't need to write complex queries or understand like the intricacies of data pipelines.
So no more waiting weeks for the data team to deliver a report.
Yep.
Instead, they could potentially get the insights they need in a matter of hours.
Potentially, yes.
That would be a game changer for so many teams.
Absolutely.
But I can already hear some folks out there thinking, hold on, wouldn't that create chaos?
Sure.
What about data quality? What about security?
Right.
How does a self-serve platform address these very valid concerns?
You're right. Those are critical considerations, and a well-designed self-serve platform needs to address them head-on.
Yeah.
One crucial capability is what's called self-service provisioning.
Okay.
It's about giving domain teams the ability to spin up the resources they need, storage compute power, even pre-built data pipelines without needing to involve the central data team.
Okay.
This is a big shift as it gives them much more agility and control.
That definitely speeds things up.
Yes.
No more waiting in line for the data team to grant access or provision resources.
Exactly.
But doesn't that increase the risk of things going wrong? If everyone's doing their own thing, how do we ensure that the data remains consistent and reliable?
Absolutely. That's where things like data governance and robust data discovery mechanisms become absolutely essential.
Okay.
Imagine a comprehensive data catalog.
Okay.
Almost like an internal data marketplace. Where domain teams can easily browse and find the data they need, but with clear documentation metadata and quality checks built in. This helps ensure that everyone is working with trusted, high-quality data, even in a decentralized environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a system where teams can essentially get the data they need when they need it, but with safeguards in place to ensure quality and consistency. It sounds like a delicate balancing act. Are there specific technologies that make this kind of self-service possible? Like under the hood, what's really going on?
That's where things get really interesting because we're talking about a whole ecosystem of tools working together. Think of it like building a house. You've got your foundation, your framing, your electrical, your plumbing. They all need to work together seamlessly. Similarly, a self-serve platform relies on a bunch of different technologies.
Okay, walk me through it. What are some of the key building blocks of this data house?
Well, you absolutely need a robust data catalog. Think of this like the blueprints for your data house. It's where you document all your data assets, define their meaning and quality, and make them easily searchable for anyone in the organization. Then you have data lineage tracking tools, which are like tracing the wires in your electrical system. They help you understand the journey of your data, where it came from, how it was transformed, and where it ended up. This is crucial for ensuring data accuracy and identifying any potential issues.
So it's not just about finding the right data, it's about understanding its history and trusting its origins. That makes sense. But isn't this a lot of work for the central data team? I mean, setting up all these tools, documenting everything, ensuring quality, it sounds like a full-time job.
You're absolutely right. It's a significant effort. But here's the beauty of it. By investing in these foundational components upfront, You're essentially shifting the workload from reactive firefighting to proactive enablement. Instead of constantly responding to data requests and troubleshooting issues, the central data team can focus on building a solid self-service infrastructure that empowers domain teams to operate independently.
So it's almost like an upfront investment that pays off in the long run by reducing the need for constant hand-holding. But I'm still a bit skeptical. We're talking about changing the entire way an organization interacts with data. That can't be easy, right? What kind of challenges do companies typically face when trying to implement a self-serve model?
You've hit on a crucial point. Technology is only one piece of the puzzle. The bigger challenge often lies in the cultural shift required. Companies used to a very centralized, controlled approach to data might encounter resistance from both sides, domain teams hesitant to take on more responsibility, and data teams worried about losing control.
So it's a people problem as much as a tech problem. How do you address that? You can't just install some software and expect everyone to magically change their ways, right?
Exactly. You need a clear communication plan, comprehensive training programs, and strong leadership buy-in to make this transition successful. It's about fostering a culture of trust and collaboration where domain teams feel empowered to use data effectively and data teams feel confident that quality and governance are maintained.
It sounds like you need a strong champion, someone who can really drive this change within the organization. But what about the practical side of things? Where do you even begin? Is there a roadmap for companies to follow?
That's a fantastic question, and that's precisely what we'll be delving into in the next part of our deep dive. We'll explore some practical strategies for implementing a self-serve data platform step by step.
All right, so we're back and ready to tackle the how-to of self-serve data platforms. We covered the what and the why.
Yep.
Now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of implementation.
Let's do it.
Where does a company even begin this journey?
Well, the first step is surprisingly simple, but often overlooked. You need to identify the pain points.
Okay.
Talk to your domain teams, marketing, finance, product, whoever.
Right.
And really understand where they're struggling with data. Are they waiting too long for reports?
Okay.
Are they lacking access to the information they need?
Right.
Are they making decisions based on gut feeling rather than, data-driven insights?
So start by understanding the problems, not jumping straight to solutions.
Exactly.
It's like a doctor diagnosing a patient before prescribing medication.
100%.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's say I'm leading a company, and I'm convinced this is the way to go.
Okay.
What are some concrete steps I can take to get the ball rolling?
One highly effective approach is to start with a pilot project.
Okay.
Choose a domain team that's eager to embrace self-service and has a clear use case in mind. Maybe it's your marketing team wanting to run more targeted campaigns, or your finance team needing to build real-time budget dashboards.
So it's like a beta test for your self-serve data platform.
Exactly.
You get to work out the kinks and gather feedback from real users before rolling it out across the entire company.
Precisely.
Okay.
And during this pilot phase, focus on building those foundational components we discussed earlier.
Right.
A robust data catalog, clear documentation, user-friendly self-service provisioning tools.
What about the role of the central data team during this pilot? Are they just observers, or do they play a more active role?
They're definitely active participants. The central data team is crucial in setting up the platform, establishing those organization-wide standards and policies we talked about, and providing guidance and support to the pilot team.
So they're like mentors or coaches helping the domain team navigate this new world of self-service.
Exactly.
Okay, but what happens when the pilot is successful and you want to expand to other teams?
That's when you move into a phased rollout.
Okay.
Gradually onboarding more teams and expanding the platform's capabilities. Communication is key here.
Right.
You need to keep everyone informed about the progress, share success stories from the pilot, and provide comprehensive training to new users.
It's almost like creating a community, a self-serve support group, where teams can learn from each other and celebrate their wins.
Yeah, I like that.
But even with the best planning, there will inevitably be bumps along the way. How do you ensure that the platform continues to evolve and improve?
That's where the concept of continuous improvement comes in. You need to establish feedback loops, monitor the platform's performance, and be willing to adapt your approach based on what you learn.
It's like any successful product, you need to keep iterating, improving, and responding to user feedback.
Absolutely.
But ultimately, what does success look like for a self-serve data platform? How do you know if you've truly achieved your goals?
Success is when your main teams are empowered to use data effectively to achieve their business objectives.
Okay.
They're no longer bottlenecked by the central data team.
Right.
They're making data-driven decisions, and they're seeing tangible results.
So it's not just about the technology. It's about the impact it has on the entire organization.
For sure.
It's about empowering people, fostering a culture of data literacy
Yes.
and ultimately driving better business outcomes.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the heart of what we've been discussing today.
Okay?
A self-serve data platform isn't just a technical solution. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about and manage data within organizations.
It's a journey, not a destination. And like any great journey, it's best enjoyed with good company, a clear roadmap, and a spirit of adventure.
I love it.
For those listening who are ready to embark on their self-serve journey,
Yeah.
what's one key takeaway they should keep in mind?
Start by understanding your needs. Choose the right tools, foster a collaborative culture, and never stop learning and iterating. The possibilities are truly limitless.
Awesome. And that wraps up our deep dive into the world of self-serve data platforms. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Deep Dive for more data-driven adventures. Until next time, happy data exploring.